best friend Stu. How are you?
In 3, I'm good. How are you?
It's good to see you. I'm back. We're here at Stu's studio in Queenstown. This is going to be a very nerdy show.
I thought you were going to say very quick.
It will be kind of quick.
I'm hungry.
Try to keep it under 15 minutes.
Under
We have
15.
Indian food tonight. Indian food party. But today we're going to talk about our gear, because we're both kind of gearheads. You're the guy that made me fall in love with Leica.
Leica.
Yeah.
Glass.
So we'll talk about all that stuff. First, let me set the scene. Okay, let me grab that, Ethan. Can you hand me that camera? Let me show people where we are. Thank you, Ethan. You're doing a fine job. By the way, there's a cameraman for the day. There's Ethan Ratcliff. How's it going, Ethan?
Fine.
Doing great. Doing great. Let's light him up with that lume cube.
It's really bright.
It is so bright.
La, 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 la.
So we're here in Stu's studio. He's currently kind of redoing it. What's going on? Your studio is kind of a wreck. What happened?
It's a wreck. So we're getting ready for a big show.
Yeah.
So we're kind of re-skinning a whole lot of artworks. We've got our crates over there. We're about to do a pack and ship.
Yeah.
Ethan got the cue to move, even though I said don't move. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so we're about to ship a whole lot of artwork north. That's my little 1969, good number 69 Spitfire. And then all the racking's coming out, and then we're building walls, and this is going to be a whole new gallery situation in about 8 weeks.
Right on.
I'm super excited. Yeah.
And this is all your work. We'll talk about this after we do our little gear stuff. Find out more about your project.
I'll just cover up the willy. Just don't call me up because I've got a willy.
So here's some of the gear we'll talk about. Here you go, Ethan. You're doing a great job. Doing
Thank
a great
you,
job.
Ethan.
Take that back. You can flip it around. By the way, we're using the new Osmo with the iPhone on it, so it's working out pretty well. What was that music from?
That's from the pinball machine.
All right. Oh, she
Yeah.
flipped on the power. We have
Oh.
power, Captain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So who wants to start with their gear? Your gear.
Well,
or
I
my
have
gear?
some of my gear here.
Right.
So,
So
like-
most of your gear's up in Auckland.
I have a camera with no lens. So basically, what I have is a paperweight.
Right.
This
Here,
is just
Ethan,
good.
come getting close on this.
This is good. This is good for paper not moving. Yeah. So this is the Leica S2 actually. This
Medium
one.
format?
Medium format.
It looks
you
bigger
know.
than that.
Well, hang on. Could we?
Tina, your
hold on.
mom is calling. Let me take this. It could be important.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't put her on
you
speaker.
keep talking about that.
Okay, yeah. So this is medium format, and I love medium format because basically what that does for me is it makes an image, it makes it more poetry. And so for my practice, I'm taking 10,000 portraits of people all standing doing exactly the same thing. So the image needs something a little bit more going on than just a recording or a picture.
Yeah, that's fine.
So for me, medium format's important, and I think that as photographers, we used to have like big plates, and then we've gone down, 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 and full frame, which is 35 mil. Are we all good? Did you order extra Indian?
Tina,
For Moosh.
that was your mom, Ethan. You're in trouble. We'll have a discussion about this later.
Well, we're always in trouble.
We are in trouble.
My,
But we'll have fun.
my ambient happy place is being in trouble.
Yeah. I figure here's my theory, is that you're always losing points.
Yeah,
All you can do is slow the rate of descent,
yeah.
right?
Losing points is like losing traction at the when you take off at the yield sign. That's actually the goal. Yeah,
That's
so,
right.
so the office is like you lost traction. You're like yes. So medium format, right?
Medium format.
Yeah, it's the way to go. It's
Was
the
this
way
the
of
black and white
future.
one?
No, this is the black and white one. This is full
Oh, right.
frames. This is 35 mil. This is the monochrome with a Summilux 35 mil 1.4. Always throttle at 1.4. If you're paying for the 1.4, you have it at 1.4.
Look what I got right here. I've got the exact same lens. Ethan, come get close on this. I've got an adapter on here to attach it to my Sony. Here's my hot advice: don't get the cheap adapter.
No.
Like this one, this is Metabone, so it's expensive. So
How
I thought it's just a piece of metal, right?
Yeah.
How bad could it be? So I got like a little $10 one, and my focal length was off all the time. It was a wreck.
Yeah.
So,
But how much was that lens?
oh my God.
Yeah,
It's
so
expensive.
You know,
Yeah.
So you need to honor the lens with an adapter.
Yeah, thanks to you, this is the very first Leica lens I got.
Yeah, well, I don't take the 35 mil off here. So I have a 50 Apo, which is like so spherically nuts. It almost makes the files look medium format. That's 50 mil f2,
Right.
and the 24 1 4 and blah blah blah.
Why is
blah,
the why is the Apple one better? This is always vexed me.
Yeah. I wish I was geeky enough to be able to explain it, but basically it's 50 at f2. So if I take a portrait 50 at f2 on any of the cameras, so I've got this is a Leica adapter here that goes, this is their mirrorless camera.
Right.
So this is 24 megapixels, and I'm not a pixel pushing pencil, I don't know much about, I'm basically an idiot, but this has got the same, basically they say a souped up 24 megapixel sensor, which is the same as the M series, which are basically these ones here, although this is black and white, like the M240 and all the rest of it. So it doesn't have a massive sensor, but I don't think we need massive sensors. But what this lets you do is have small Leica lens on here, like this is a beast.
That is
You know, like you feel that in the camera.
so
But
heavy.
Yeah, it's 24 to 90.
Right.
And so this takes beautiful shots. So I normally just throttle it at 50 and take the pictures
And
at 50.
and some of your
I haven't
best
answered that
piece of
question.
10,000 hands photos have been with these exact cameras. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Talk about
Right.
this one, because yesterday or 2 days ago we did a show about Antarctica, and this has sort of an Antarctica connection.
Well, this is my grandfather's Leica. And I think like many Leica shooters, you know, there's maybe a little bit of history, or they've always aspired, that sort of makes it sound pinnacly. I'm not sure if you know, I'm subliminally suggesting through aspiration that maybe this is the way to go when someone might aspire to have a Canon or a Nikon or a Sony or whatever. But for me, I grew up with my grandfather photographing me, and you can see this is his M3.
You're getting
and
tight
this
even
is
on
the
this.
Yeah, so this is him M3. I'll go down here so it's away from my face. Had a big night last night, and this is like a new one. This is an old one, and so the mount hasn't changed for over 50 years. I think, like we're heading into 51 or something like that. So my grandfather's lenses still fit my M bodies, which is just nuts. And you know, if you get a good piece of glass, like there's a couple of like Nikon lenses they don't make anymore.
Right.
Nikon lenses that are
Yeah.
just amazing, and you know, you get your hands on these things, and if you get the right adapter, if you're not on
Yeah.
Nikon or whatever, you know, these bits of glass never change.
Yeah.
A good lens never changes. Like you'll have that 35 Summilux forever, but you'll go through body after body after body after body. Then the lens will get handed on to Ethan, and there'll just be this big crate.
I've thought about
Bodies.
collecting lenses. We had this crazy guy come on one of our workshops in Paris. He was from Singapore. He's this Asian guy. This Fu Manchu, really serious guy. And he's one of those guys that comes with just a ton of lenses. He's one of those kind of guys, right?
For what? What's he shooting?
Well, there's a whole other story in it. So it was a workshop that we did with Miss Agnella, who's a British photographer. Very good. She does a lot of compositing, so on and so forth. I think he came because he thought that there was going to be like all the nude photography there, which there was none. In fact, he was telling us this one story. We were all having lunch together or whatever, and he goes, you know, this one time, he goes, I went to a workshop.
Are you doing his
And-
voice?
No, I'm just being excited like him. He said, I went to this workshop. And it was supposed to be a lingerie workshop. And then so we all got there, and then during the lingerie workshop, she took off all of her lingerie. He goes, free show, free show.
Free.
We're like, why are you at our workshop? This is like a landscape. Anyway, he was this big landscape guy, okay? And he was talking all about all of his various lenses, all this kind of stuff. I'm sorry, he was a big lens guy, not landscape guy.
Yeah.
And he was saying, like, he collects these lenses, and on average, they appreciate every year, like 10 to 30%.
Yeah.
He says he has this one very rare Nikon lens.
Yeah.
It was done in like the 1940s, and something about the way the glass was formed in there. You know, you have this out of focus area called bokeh, the
We
blurry
just
area.
called the out of focus area.
Out of focus area.
Bokeh,
He says
bouquet.
with this particular lens, all the lights that are out of focus, they make these little swirly cues. Yeah, how cool is that?
Have you seen that new lens that's, is it Voltaire or what are they called? They start with a V.
Voigtlander.
Yes,
Yes.
I bought one of them.
They're supposed to be
Is it
great.
the-
I've had one too.
The Buble background.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those are great.
yeah.
They're cheaper than the Leicas too. Here's my other Leica that I quite like. This is my 90mm f2.
I have this lens as well.
Here, Ethan, let's get in tight on this one. Let me show you how cool this thing is when it's at. We'll do a little lesson here on. Let me come see it from your perspective, Ethan. Can you get right in there so you see? Look how wide that is. Look at that. So now, as I start to dial down the aperture, you can actually see it get smaller and smaller. How cool is that? So it's all magnet. So that's f16, all right? Okay. F11, all right. F8. By the way, if you're ever going on a first date with a photographer, here's a good question to ask if conversation goes dry. Say, hey, what's your favorite f-stop? And that'll just kind of get the conversation started up all again. You can also say, so, do you like stuff? That's always another good conversation winner.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I was running my fingers through my hair so I could put it up. I wasn't just doing a Pantene moment. I was looking at some comments there.
Yeah.
It's kind of part of the deal.
Yeah, by the way, if you guys are watching from, let us know where you're watching from. Where are people watching from, Ethan? Give us some feedback.
Oh, there was a lot of comments up the top.
Uh-huh.
It says
A lot of comments
how
up
much-
the top.
where they're from.
All right, give us a few hot spots. We were just talking, we've actually been to all 7 continents. You and I both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lucky us. We don't take it for granted though, do we?
No,
We're like the luckiest people in the world.
Yes.
Somebody says hello from Salem, Oregon.
Salem, Oregon. Witch trials. That's all I know
I
about
thought you
it.
were going to follow up with something, but which?
Yeah, no, that was a long time ago. I don't think they're still going on.
Who knows?
Hey, audience, we want to test something we've never tested before. We've been whitelisted for advertising
Yes.
in Facebook Live. Do you see an option there, Ethan?
Yeah, I do.
You want to try it?
Yeah, try it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, click it and tell us what's going to happen. If you guys see an ad here, tell us what it is because we can't see the ad. We're just experimenting, okay?
Take a break. Yeah, click take a break.
Click, take a break.
10 seconds.
10 seconds. Give us a countdown.
7, 6, 5,
And this gear
4,
show with Trey Stew
3,
brought to you by...
1. And it's back on.
Are we back on?
We're
Yep.
back on.
All right.
Tell us what that was like.
You may have just seen the very first Facebook advertising
Situation.
on live video ever. Somehow they contacted us and whitelisted, asked if we wanted to be part of it. We're like, sure. So let us know
We couldn't
if it
see
was
it,
a
though.
good ad, an inappropriate ad. It could have been anything, really.
Hopefully it was good and inappropriate.
No, those are the best. Okay, back to gear porn.
Air New Zealand.
It was Air New Zealand.
Yeah.
I wondered, did everyone see Air New Zealand, or did different people see different ads?
Yeah, Salem, Oregon doesn't want to see anything.
That's what I want to know.
I see 2 comments saying that they watched the airplane, some airline.
All right, cool. Look at that. We might do a deal with Air New Zealand for our upcoming European tour. I'm talking to them about that.
Yeah.
Okay, here, come here, Ethan. More gear porn. Come on in. So this is kind of my main camera right now. This is a Sony A7R Mark II. This is really one of my favorite lenses on it. It's the 24 to 240. I use it almost all the time unless I am using my super wide angle one. This one, the 10 to 18 millimeter lens. Very light. Hold that, Ethan. How light is that lens?
So
Is that light
a lot
enough for
lighter than
your,
expected.
your man hands? Thank you. Yeah, it's a very nice light lens. This is actually an E-mount lens, so it's not really meant for the F full frame mount, but it still works as long as you're 11 to 17. We have a robot that's joined us. And then, so if I'm not doing one of these 2 lenses, I have on my people shots. Mostly I use these Leicas for peoples or things. See? See? So that's what I
Really?
do. Now, the one camera I don't have here, which I wish I had, is the new Hasselblad.
Hasselblad.
The new medium format, I think it's called the
Mirrorless?
H1D, or I'm terrible with all these names.
Yeah.
But I held it in Cologne, Germany. It's awesome. I think they're going to be sending me one to try out in the next 2 months.
And it's mirrorless.
Mirrorless medium format.
Fuji are coming out with a mirrorless.
They also have one that looks pretty cool.
I think it's going to be the whole. I think we're going to move away from full frame, 35 mil.
Think so?
Like,
Yeah.
you can tell, like when you look at a portrait, you can tell what's being shot on this.
You can.
For me, you know, there's
I could
just-
definitely see something different in medium
There's
format.
more energy. I just put my robot over.
Good move. Okay, now let me show you another camera. Okay, this is the Fuji. Getting close to this. Ethan, come on in. What are you laughing at? A comment?
Somebody's bribing me to do something.
Okay. Look, it still has my Burning Man press pass on it. Okay. This is the Fuji X Pro 2, which I quite like. And the reason I took this to Burning Man is because it's totally weatherproof. Like you can actually hold it under a water faucet and take photos. So I figured it would be good against the elements of the desert. So this is the lens that I mostly used on it. Here, Ethan, get it tight. This is the 16 to 55, so wide to tight. This is a crop sensor on here, so you multiply everything times 1.5. So what would that be? That'd be 24 millimeter to about 79 or something. Nice, and it's very flexible. I love that lens. There's the other great lens for this particular camera is this one, I believe. Yes. Well, I don't know. No, this is the 90 millimeter prime. Oh, that's a good one. But really, what is it going to be? It's going to be 135 on the crop sensor. Is this one? Oh, this is the best one. This is what is this one? This is the 56 millimeter prime APD. Get in tight on that, Ethan. This means it's one of their best lenses. It's incredible. I got some of my best Burning Man portraits with this lens. Just incredible. You know, if I was not worried about the sand, I would go out with the A7R Mark II and the Leica lenses, but if I was worried about the elements, then I would take this one. Because as much as we love these Leica lenses, they're not very weatherproof, are they?
No, these are.
That one is?
Yeah, the SL is, and this thing is.
But not
you
the
can
M.
wash these with a power hose, basically.
All right.
But no.
A good example is my friend Renee, who you know, he fell into a canal with one lens. And it was never really the same. And once after he fell in the Venetian Canal, the lens, it never really got back to where it was.
And he never really ever walked as close to a Venetian Canal ever again, did he?
No, but now he did learn to communicate with sea life there. So now we call him the dolphin whisperer. Here's quite a big lens that I don't. Oh, this is the 100 to 400 millimeter. So the equivalent of 200 to 600. It's a big lens.
Yeah.
It's a big lens. I like it.
Do you
And
have like a double down converter situation for shooting the eyeball of a leopard from half a kilometer away?
I did in Africa. So I used a crop sensor there. I think I used the A6000. And
it was actually quite good.
it was great.
Yeah.
In fact, it was like
I have one of them.
it was like 15 or 16 frames a second.
Yeah.
So, you know, you just basically see an animal and you take about 7,000 photos of
Yeah.
it, and then one of them is going to be good,
Yeah.
right? Here, I'll go further afield and show this thing. You know what this is, Stu?
Yeah, I love this thing.
This
I
thing
wanna
is
get one
great.
Of these. Yeah.
This is the Mevo, okay? It looks quite black and phallic, sort of black mamba. It comes apart. This is the actual camera, okay? It's called a Mevo. You can tell because on the back it says Mevo. And it shoots at 4K, all right? You connect to it through your iPhone or Android or iPad or whatever. So it shoots wide at 4K, but there's like a little AI in here. And what it will do is it will find people that are talking. Ethan's laughing at something. Is it stuff Gino's saying?
Yep.
Probably. You could give us some commentary. What is he saying?
Well, should we say?
Ethan can't even read it. He's just sitting there giggling like a schoolboy, which he is. So anyway, the bottom part is a battery pack, okay? You can pop it on
Why
there.
is the battery so big?
That's a good question. It's
It
very
doesn't
large.
even make sense.
It's very large.
Like,
Well, but it does last for 11 hours. That's part of it. Then down here is a little flat flap, and you can hook onto there, all that stuff. This is it's a really cool camera. It's quite cool. Oh, and it also has a little micro SD card right in there, so it records everything in high def.
You know what I think
Look
they
at
should
that.
do?
What
I think that what they should do. I
is
was
what?
talking to these guys the other day. Like, what? You know how cameras get nicked?
Yeah,
You know how the back of that phone has a fingerprint thing on it?
Yeah.
Like for this finger here?
yeah.
Like, why is this not fingerprint?
Oh,
You
right.
don't have to turn your camera on. You just pick
Yeah.
it up and you're ready to shoot.
Right, and make
Or
it hard
if
to steal.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But actually, it's quicker. You don't have to faff around. No, these guys should have. Look at this thing here. Look how bright this
Spin around to
is.
show the studio here.
Yeah, I don't want to. Anyway, but imagine if these guys had like a little ribbon of LEDs there,
Yeah,
and you could. Yeah.
Right. I like it. Oh, as long as we're showing gear, I will show this thing off. By the way, if you're just joining us, we're here in Stu's studio in Queenstown, New Zealand. This is a new thing called a Lume Cube, okay? And you can touch these buttons to adjust how bright it is. It gets insanely bright. Can you tell, Ethan, how bright it is?
Yep.
He's wincing at the brightness. We have two of them. Come over here. There's another one on the bar. This is the second one. So we kind of use these for extra lighting. Lume Cube. They're really cool. Oh, I want to show you another cool thing. Stu, are you familiar with the blunt umbrella?
No.
Really?
No.
Okay, well, I'll start showing this thing off right now. Look at this, Ethan. This is a blunt umbrella. Not an official sponsor or anything, maybe someday, but this is the coolest thing in the world. You think an umbrella, how cool could an umbrella be? Well, first, let me tell you their mission. Have you really never heard of an umbrella?
No, I have.
Oh, okay.
I have. I thought you said another word.
Oh, right. So their mission is to replace all of these disposable umbrellas that are out there. Because you know how umbrellas are terrible, they suck, they break after a while. This is like an unbreakable umbrella. Okay? Let me show you this thing, okay? It comes in 2 sizes, and you can see it's got kind of soft edges, but they've engineered this in such a way that it's uncollapsible. Like, so you can be like in a blizzard or a hurricane, and the thing will not collapse. They are a little expensive, but what you get is incredible quality. So this thing has changed my life. It comes in 2 sizes. I think this size and a bigger size, but so it's good to have a good umbrella for a photographer, I say. Ethan, what are you still giggling at? Ethan is just sitting back there giggling away. Here, give me this thing. I'm under assault. Wait, I need the umbrella. Look at this. It's like the penguin.
Hey, you shot the phone.
Don't shoot the cameraman. Here, I'll protect you,
These things are, like,
Ethan.
super accurate.
I will protect you. Here we go.
Okay.
Boy, I opened that at the right time. All right, Stu, you want to give us a quick tour?
Hit me.
Exactly. So what are we touring?
First tell us what is peace in 10,000 hands while you're holding a gun.
Exactly, yeah. This is a peaceful gun. So peace in 10,000 hands. We're photographing. Everyone must know this by now. I feel.
That's
good.
okay. We've got new
We're
people joining
new
all
people.
the time.
Yeah. So we're photographing a single white rose
Uh-huh.
in the hands of 10,000 people from every single country on the planet to raise the global conversation for peace, create a circle of peace, and $100 million for children's charities globally that will change children's lives for the better. That's our mission.
And these
What
are
you
some of your
focus on will
photos
grow.
here.
Yeah. This is Jamie
Jamie
Lee
Lee
Curtis.
Curtis.
We
and,
have actually, if you pop over here, you'll see Demi Moore.
Demi Moore. There's the Dalai Lama right there, keeping it real.
Yeah.
You said that's Papua New Guinea?
Yeah, so this was,
That's a new photo then.
yeah, that is a new photo.
I know.
Freaky, right? So this was taken on the M-Crom.
Right?
I mean, it's just delicious, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is M-Crom,
Nice.
yes, yeah. M-Crom, or monochrome. Snake. Please. And then we have Demi Moore.
Well, that's a big print.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, so it was taken in her backyard.
Oh, tell us about your show you have coming up in Auckland. What's
We
going
have
on?
a show. Yeah, we have an exhibition coming up in Auckland. If you're in Auckland,
Yeah.
we're releasing a whole lot of new works. So we're kind of getting a little bit freaky with a whole lot of different stuff in terms of how we present them, and we're doing a whole lot of face mounting, so perspex, pay-light work, and a few new neons, and a tank barrel, and our crystal range of weapons, because we can't have the conversation for peace without the conversation for war. My next show is called Guns N' Roses. I'm not sure if someone else has that name, but anyways.
I think it's available. I
Yeah.
think it's in public domain now.
Yeah.
Look, there's Ricky
Oh, look.
Gervais over there.
We have to spin around now. We have to spin
We're
around.
spinning around.
Spinning around. Spinning around.
Spinning
and
around.
moving
See which
forward.
way?
Yeah, so we just turned on the neons. That's actually, that's not, I need to put my, where's the, yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there's yeah. Ethan probably doesn't know what that word means.
No, he doesn't.
Life, sick.
Look at that.
Yeah, so those are the neons.
How much do those sell for?
10,000.
10,000?
Yeah.
Hey, tell us
But
about
those are
these founder packages that you're putting
The
up for bid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we have, well, they're called Legends.
legends.
Legends, yeah, because 100% of everything for the project goes to the project, so we don't take $1. And so we've been self-funding the project, so 100% of all of the art funds the project and everything that we're doing. And so we've created 11 Legends packages, so once a legend, always a legend, only 11, and then 25K. But we don't take donations, so it's an art package with a whole lot of stuff, the crystal roses and.
Great idea. And you get a lot of art, and you get to be part of the project.
Yeah, huge conversational opportunities around the dinner table,
Beautiful.
apart from the art. Do you want to have a game later?
Why don't you guys play a game while we go to commercial break?
Okay.
And I want to see what this commercial is. Hold on, we're going to go to commercial break.
You go.
This okay, this foosball game played by my son and best friend is brought to you by two.
Right.
All right, and live video is back.
Live back.
We are super curious. Tell us what video you, or what ad you saw. We're trying to figure out why someone in Salem, New Zealand was seeing an ad for Air New
Salem,
Zealand.
Oregon.
Salem, Oregon.
Oregon.
Oh, that's different than the Salem where the witch trials were. That was on the East Coast. Yeah, Salem, Massachusetts is where the witch trial was.
Gino got a Taco Bell ad.
A Taco Bell.
Taco
ad.
Bell, that's appropriate.
Well, it's probably highly targeted towards Gino. He's a big fan of Taco Bell. Toxic Hell.
Show me the bell.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We gotta get our Indian food. We
Yeah.
gotta get our party going. Thanks for the tour.
Tonight is a party night. I've been away, I've just returned.
Tonight's a party night.
Trey the Panda
You know who's
Bear.
really gonna bring the party? Scarlett.
Scarlett,
Yes.
oh my God,
Not too long.
that child.
We should do live shows just with Scarlett. Okay, bye everyone. Thanks for watching. You can click
Peace
in
out.
broadcast anytime. Thank you guys.